It was some of the worst violence in Northern Ireland for years. Over several nights in April, cars were hijacked, petrol bombs thrown.
There was flames up there, the gate was closed, there was a large crowd down at this end.
It was largely young men and boys on the street. But why?
We're just looked upon like we're dogs dirt in the ground, you know what I mean? That's what we're looked upon.
A teenager involved in the riots explains why he did it.
I stick by everything I did. What had to be done, had to be done.
The marching season is approaching. Some loyalists feel their place in the United Kingdom is under threat.
No other section of society is abused and labelled the way my community is, and we've had enough.
To find out what might happen next, we spent 1 month on the Shankill. This is an important moment for Northern Ireland's loyalist community. As the 12th of July celebrations approach, there's a sense of unease. And we're about to find out that it's about much more than Brexit. This is Shankill Road, 1.5 miles long. Some of its story is shared with many working class streets across the UK, but there are differences too.
My name's Matty Terry, and that's my daddy Paul Terry, and I live on the Shankill.
Cover your journey home.
The Ferrari cancellation of the gigs has led to a full-blown riot.
This seems as bad as what I can remember in a while. This sort of tension around this, it's not good.
There's no question that under President Biden there is a massive...
What does politics mean to you? What is it about?
What I believe in and who I am. Like I'm a loyalist. I'm loyal to the Crown. I'm not loyal to any specific person, bar the Queen.
Loyal to the Prime Minister?
And not loyal to any politician in England, and especially not Mr. Boris Johnson.
For live music to resume across venues and theatres to reopen in Northern Ireland.
Shankill means a lot of things to me, but it's pride mainly. I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm proud of that my parents are from the Shankill.
Tell me about this event tonight.
It's a protest. People who are angry about the protocol and they want to get away, they want to get their views heard.
The protocol is the part of the Brexit withdrawal agreement which led to customs checks on goods crossing the Irish Sea. Does it feel different among the people you know, Matty?
They're becoming more hardline. They're becoming more willing to go out and be violent.
He said a word there, it was pretty strong. You know, for a 15-year-old to say that the protocol is radicalizing youths, it just goes to show where they are now and how frustrated and angry they are.
This is a way to get their frustration heard, and it's the best way is a peaceful protest.
And as they marched, Joe Biden arrived in Cornwall at the G7.
Thank you guys, let's go.
On the agenda during his meeting with Boris Johnson was the Northern Ireland Protocol. He warned him it shouldn't risk the peace process.
Can the Good Friday Accord be said? Thank you guys, let's go, thank you.
Our British sovereignty and status lies within the United Kingdom.
But back in the Shankill, the US president is widely seen as an ally of Irish nationalists.
Northern Ireland must go.
It's 23 years since the Good Friday Agreement to maintain peace in Northern Ireland. Many of the protesters weren't even born then.
As an attack on British democracy here in Northern Ireland.
Did you ever feel there was an option where you just shield their kids from politics?
Listening to him, and I trust him that he's not going to take it too far into violence. I trust that he's going to use his head and actually do the right thing. From the Good Friday Agreement, I've had 2 sons, brought them up till a certain age, so I've sort of got past all the sort of politics side of it and sort of get on with my life and try to bring them up so that they're good boys. But now it's just coming back in, so it's sort of, there's certain people, it can be, I'm fed up with this, it's the same old thing again. But the younger ones are now feeling what we felt so many years ago. So they are probably more frustrated than what we are.
I've got many friends who have been radicalised and thinking violence is the only way. And I know many niceness and many Republicans that are the same.
And so some of these friends are people who, like, you would never have expected to...
Never expected to lift the brick or a bottle, the throw at someone else. I never expected it of them. I know their political views, but I never thought they would take up violence as a way to get them across. But I can understand why they did it.
Do you think those same friends would consider the same again now?
Yeah. Definitely.
Actually, what happened at this summit was that there was a colossal amount of work. We will do whatever it takes to protect the territorial integrity of the UK.
What happened? It disappeared. It went off a page.
It's not just a united Ireland that Sharon fears from the so-called protocol.
Oh my God, what's happening?
Her more pressing concern is her online shopping. She's finding that some of her favourite items can't be delivered from Great Britain.
Unfortunately, some delivery methods are unavailable to your location. That does my head in. Really annoys me. Is cracking me up.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's food. And you can't even get it sent to you. Being able to get sausages and stuff, stupid things, you know, that's going to affect everybody. And yes, shop local, because I believe in that. But you still want to be able to order stuff from the UK when you live in the UK and get it. A couple of the kids.
She thinks that's part of what led to the violence in April, and she fears it might return.
There was flames up there, the gate was closed, there was a large crowd down at this end, and then they closed the gates. You know, but then the gates were tried to be rammed open and stuff.
You realised these were kids?
They're young kids, yeah. Teenagers, and some smaller. It could have been small teenagers, but they weren't. It wasn't like it was men, and it's like a small group of children.
And that was the difference?
Yeah, because of their age. And we go about our daily lives. It's not like every day we're under some sort of threat. It's not like that. We'll go about our daily lives. But coming up to like bond season, tensions seem to heighten. And I don't know why.
Blazing cars along the loyalist Shankill Road as the 24-hour protest stoppage got underway. As the pickets gathered outside the Harland and Wolff shipyard, it was soon clear very few would be going into work.
Life in West Belfast is shaped not only by history and politics, but with some of the country's highest rates both of child poverty and of suicide, not everything here has changed.
Shankill was the traditional home of shipyard workers. Now Harland and Wolff are suffering from the chronic recession in world demand for ships. The empty factories commemorate the collapse of linen manufacture. 2,500 people worked in this mill before the industry's decline in the 1960s.
I didn't realise how much I love the Shankill, or like how important the Shankill is to me.
Once a week, ever since the violence in April, Matty and some of his classmates have been taken away from school to talk. They discuss what they think and who they are.
What would be the 4 aspects of your life?
2 good things and 2 bad things. Like the people they think about.
Family, school, football, Shankill.
Then we talk about what happened last spring.
The protocol radicalised young people.
I felt like it pushed into it. Because there's men standing at that riot saying to all the young people, you may go and do it. You know what I mean? Like, they're all just standing there telling young people to do it. Why don't they lift the brick and start doing it?
If people want a voice to be heard, it shouldn't be us. To resolve it, there's adults that can do it and do it peacefully anyway. It shouldn't be us having to do it.
Do you think it will happen again? I mean,
See, personally, I think it's going to get worse. The way it's looking now, I think it's going to get worse. I think the violence will get turned into possibly guns get brought out. You drive up the Ardine, you see new houses, fancy lampposts, new football pitches, everything. You come down to Shankill, what do you see? Nothing.
Empty buildings.
Literally nothing. There's abandoned buildings everywhere. There's waste ground just sitting there ready to get stuff built on it, like shops, houses, football pitches.
We're just looked upon like we're dogs dirt in the ground. You know what I mean? That's what we're looked upon, and that's not the way it should
by
be.
who?
DUP, Sinn Féin, Alliance.
All the politicians.
Yeah. The mainland, Boris Johnson. You know what I mean? There's Health Secretary Matt Hancock. No, he just looks at Northern Ireland like it's a burden, basically. Like, it's just dogs dirt in the ground.
And Dylan, do you feel the same?
Oh, I see personally. See if we went into United Ireland in the next 5 years, I know for a fact that United, they wouldn't care. No one would. It's just something off our shoulders, to be honest with you.
One of the things that we're talking about, as you rightly point out, is the protocol. Imagine if Bratwurst could not be moved from Dortmund to Dusseldorf.
But this seems to be about much more than selling sausages. As the 12th approaches, bonfires are being prepared. It's a tradition, but this year it feels different. Because many loyalists believe that for the first time, they are drifting away from the UK.
I do think that we just feel like we're being left behind and nobody is listening, and we just want to thrive and be living in peace.
And so in that sense, is the protocol just the final straw?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it's just a multitude of different things over many years. The perception of two-tiered policing. You have the Good Friday Agreement has not delivered. It looks like it's delivered for other communities, but the Shankill community is still living in poverty and deprivation. And I think now the threat to our constitutional position within the United Kingdom, look how proud these people are to be British. Why should we be on an unequal footing with the rest of our counterparts across the United Kingdom?
Does that make you emotional?
Yeah, it does. I'm immensely proud of who I am, and I want people to be immensely proud of who they are, but I also just want to live in peace. I don't want to be attacked for who I am. I get abused on social media every single day. My children get abused on social media because they're proud to be British. What's right about that? It's not right, totally wrong. No other section of society is abused and labelled the way my community is, and we've had enough.
But is that why teenagers rioted last April? We were able to find one of the boys who took part. And with his parents' permission, he told us why he did it.
Just tell me what you were feeling in the lead up to that.
I was feeling anger. I was feeling like we had no other... I feel like we had no other option. We had to do something about it, because, as I said, we did loads of stuff and nothing worked. We went out and did peaceful protests, put banners up, put posts on Facebook, put paint on walls, no Irish sea border, NI protocol out, and none of it seemed to work. None of it seemed to make the news or nothing, but as soon as a wee bit of trouble happened, you know.
That next morning, when you woke up, what did you think?
Where am I? How did this happen? How did I get caught? How was I stupid enough to get caught?
How were you stupid enough to get caught, or were you frustrated about also being there in the first place?
Frustrated that I was in there, and frustrated that I got caught as well. Being so stupid. It was my own fault. I got caught, but I stick by everything I did. What had to be done had to be done. They've got all the good pitches. They've got all the youth clubs. They've got places to go. We don't. We have to wander the streets. Just go out with our mates. We're not violent people. We're not scumbags. We're just normal people. We had to do what had to be done. Don't look upon what happened in April as if we're terrorists or vigilantes. We're not. We're just... It had to be done. I'm sure the other side would have done the same as well.
When was the first 11th night that you can remember?
In the early 50s. The very, very early 50s. Actually, it would probably be the late 40s because I'm not saying my age, but I'm near 80. And it's been going on for 100 years, and it'll go on for another 100, because this will always be our place, always be British, and we'll always celebrate our history.
4 weeks ago, you told me that you thought kids were being radicalised by the protocol.
Yeah.
Do you think anything's changed since then?
Very little. Only the dates have changed. You know what I mean?
Tell me about what your hopes are for your adult life.
Go to university, get a degree in politics, go to the Navy as an officer, then retire in the Navy, get a good pension, make money.
And your hopes for your community?
Well, I want to get into community work after Navy, so hopefully things have changed by then. The protocol's done with, everyone's getting on. That's all I hope for. I don't know why anyone wouldn't hope for that.
For many loyalists, the protocol was an agreement which became a euphemism, a shorthand for issues old and new, for perceived threats to an identity, not just to parades, bonfires or sausages. And on the Shankill Road, it could be a long summer.